Wow, let's talk GCF, greatest common factor. Oh, factors are numbers you can multiply together to get another number. Example, 2 times 3 is 6, so 2 and 3 are factors of 6. The other factors of 6 include 1 and 6. Right? Those are all the numbers that can be multiplied into 6. All the whole numbers, positive whole numbers, natural numbers. All right, so listing the factors of 12. I personally like to list them in pairs. So I would say like 1 times 12. Also, 2 goes in there. It's 2 times 6. Does 3 go in there? You bet. 3 times 4. And that is all of them. Those are all factor pairs. If we were to do the same thing for 30, well, 30 could be 1 times 30. It could be 2 times 15. Could be 3 times 10. Or, ooh, do I have room? 5 times 6. These are all factors of 30. Now, common factors are factors they have in common. So they're factors of both numbers, or all three numbers if there were three numbers. So, common factors between 12 and 30, let me spruce this up a little bit. If you look at factors that they both have 1, 2, they both have a 3, they don't have 4 or 5, both of them, but they both have 6, and that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 6. Now, the greatest common factor is the largest of these common factors, which in our case would be 6. So it's the largest thing that goes into both of them. All right. So here we're going to find the greatest common factor of numbers or monomials. That just means one algebraic expression. So we're looking for what 6x squared and 5x squared have in common. Here's what I like to do when I do it. I look at the numbers first. 6 and 5, what do they have in common? 1. That's it. And then you look at the variables. And you got to go with the lowest amount of exponents. So if it was like x to the 10th and x to the 4th, they both have at least x to the 4th. But these ones are both x squared, so we just have x squared. Now 1x squared, we can clean that up and just make it x squared. All right, let's try some more. 15y to the third and negative 20y. So if we're looking at 15 and negative 20, what do they have in common? They have 5. And do they both have a y? You bet. This has y to the third, which means y times y times y. This is just y to the first, which just means y. So they have y to the first in common. So our greatest common factor would be 5y. Now eventually we're going to be factoring these polynomials, and factoring out the greatest common factor is always the first step you want to look for. 4x squared and 5y to the third. So if we're just looking at the numbers, 4 and 5, they have a 1 in common. Look at the variables. We have x to the second and y to the third. Do they have anything in common? No. They don't have the same letter. So our greatest common factor would be 1. There is always a greatest common factor. Sometimes it might just be 1. It's sad, but we do what we do. All right, 8a squared and 28. Looking at the numbers 8 and 28, what is the largest thing they have in common? 4. Do they both have a's? No, they don't. The 28 doesn't have an a, so they don't have an a in common. So our greatest common factor would just be 4. So this is the first step in factoring binomials, trinomials, polynomials. So on the next video, we're going to start by finding the GCF, and then we're going to actually factor it the rest of the way. Stay tuned. If I can stop the video.